I'm in the Misty Mountains in this completionist run of Lotro. My red hunter is mostly doing side quests in this zone, just slotting in the epics when it's geographically convenient. And these snow beasts, they never call them Yeti, but that's what they look like to me, are in the way of my claiming a little keystone for the epic. My plan in the Misty Mountains is to do everything except Goblin Town, then go off and do the approach to Moria and get my legendary items. I'll be a bit under-leveled for that. But the goblins, Goblin Town is a hard slog in the sense of having to take out a lot of enemies to get to where you need to be for all the quests, and then you have to come back out and back in again. So, got to take out a certain number of wargs. And I'm heading for this little goblin village, although one of the subquests I have requires me to go further than that, and sort of up into the mountains to find the fire pots. I've got the fire pots locked as the current quest, but the pointers was sort of sent me the wrong way. But it didn't matter, I just take out a few of these goblins of various kinds. And the first two fire pots are on the right up here. The other thing I'm going to do while I'm on this path is there's a high point. There's a deed for getting to certain high passes. And one of them is up beyond the fire pots. So I'm just going to run to that. As long as I get there, it doesn't matter whether I get killed or not. So it'll be quickest to just run. But the bombers are my least favourite. Fire bombs do a fair bit of damage. I always try to hit them first and make them explode prematurely. This is the area surrounding Goblin Town. There's another fire pot. And another bomber coming. Managed to blow himself up completely. And the last couple of fire pots are here. I'm going to wait for the fire to go away. So take out another goblin in the meantime. And here we go. I'm just going to run. I'm going to get several of their bombs thrown at me. But all I've got to do is get to, there it goes, with that, the name of the place popped up. That's sufficient for the deed. So I had crowds following me, so I jumped back down. Didn't need to die. Just find my way to a clear point. I've got enough goblins of the different kinds, but I've got to get more wargs yet. So that's why I'm not teleporting anywhere, just running away again. I mean, there's an enormous load of wargs over in the far corner. The northeast corner. But I didn't need to go that far. I'm using my hunter ability to teleport to Hrimberg and just getting on horses from there. And he blew himself up. There are some fellowship quests here that I'm not going to do, but I'm now heading towards doing Goblin Town. Got to see a whole bunch of people to get all of the first round of quests. But now I'm going to do Gimli's instance. I think the place that this is set in is called Gazilban or something like that. Yeah, Gabilazan. And it's an occasion to break out the rain of arrows a lot. I like it just a bit better than split shot. That's one reason I'm doing Red Hunter. The captains take a while to bring down sometimes because they are elites. And the first giant of the instance, if he stuns me, I can stun him back as long as that shell ability is not on cooldown. Okay, rain of arrows again. And again, it has pretty short cooldown, but you've got to make sure you've got the focus to do it. And since I'm using precision stance, I don't run out of focus all that often. Only if I do a whole bunch of focus consumers in a row without doing the focus generators. And there's one giant in front and there'll be another one coming up from behind. And I'm concentrating on the numbers of dwarves. Right, here comes the other giant. Oh. Okay, got him down. And Gimli ran racing ahead. It's a good thing he stopped just inside. So I'm doing sort of a thorough approach, taking out all of them in case the instance won't proceed until I do. But Gimli, there he goes, running way ahead again. Well, I've got to take down another champion yet. And he's already fighting these. He's got a fair bit of health, but if he dies, got to start the instance over again. Right, now we're after Skorgrim, the undead dwarf chieftain. He's really possessed by, or his body is possessed by a spirit, and we saw him way back in the Dwarven and Elven tutorial. We saw that happen to him. But this is fun, and he popped up now and then since then, but this is where he comes to an end. Right, got all the rest of the dwarves, and takes quite a while to bring down. Very resilient. He's throwing all the time, but not all that damaging. But there's the spirit that possessed him, who now has to run back to Sauron or somebody, I guess. And that's that instance over. So I've gone out to Hrimberg again. Got a lot of stuff to sell. And repair. Yeah, the rewards, none of the rewards were much good. But I've got more to do at Vinderhall here. That's Grimbeorn, who's there for a class quest if you're a Bjorning. But now I'm riding back in the direction of the Goblin Town because I've got to go up to this pot of stuff and throw Gandalf's concoction into it. And I just mithrilled straight back to Vinderhal. Get rid of a few more things. And I'm supposed to be looking for Glorwen. And this is where I will have to go into the northeast warg enclosure. I've got to take 2 trips to there. First just to find Glorwen's gear, and then I'll be sent back to fight the chief warg pack leader. I could have delayed the warg quest, where I just had to get 10 of them, but that would have might have made it more awkward in terms of handing things in and getting the next quests. So back to Hrimbarg, ride back to Vinderhal, and that's the first stage of the warg den done. I'll break it up by doing something else. I've got a vector quest to Hrimbarg itself, so that's that. And there's a whole bunch of more side quests here. I think one of them involves going back to places I've been before, but most of them are in the southeast. That sorted that out, but the quests from Hrimbarg are a higher level. You see they're white, whereas everything else has been dark blue. But I'm now heading off to get the warg boss. And while I'm up there, I'll be riding on further because there's another one of those high places you've got to discover for an explorer deed. I don't want to have to go up here a third time. And my dog doesn't like the wargs. Right, you've got to fight your way there, but once you get to the main area and summon the boss, they all stop still for a while and let it be one-on-one combat. So there's the totem. A whole ring of wargs surrounds you, but they won't attack. And I beat Black Fang fair and square. But now I'm running on to the high place that I mentioned. You've just got to get there. There's the name popping up, Dom's something. And one of them chased me all the way, but that's that area done. Back to Vinderhal. And I'm putting all of my quests back on the list because I've only got one left that's dark blue, and that's the epic. Also, I'm allowing myself to gain some more experience. I want to get to level 47 and then stop leveling because I'm 47. Any more, 48 might be too much for the lowest level quests in Angmar, around our hair. So I'll probably stay on 47 for quite a while. Also, 47 is a good level to do Goblin Town and getting my allies. Right, that was a preliminary trip to the Helagrod Treasury, which is a different thing from Helagrod itself. That's the place way up top. But I need to go and talk to a couple of people before doing the actual Helagrod Treasury instance, which is now the lowest level quest I have. And there we go. That was 46. That's a repeat quest or repeat missions over Elrond's Head there. I've done those. Right, off to Hrimbarg. And from there to Gloin's camp. And now I'm heading for Helagrod Treasury again. And I think this is the first time in the game that you directly fight one of the Nazgul. You can't kill them, of course. They've got plot armor. Right, just one guy I didn't manage to avoid. Now, this is one of those instances where you saw I popped up a whole lot of extra health. There's a lot of elites in here. So, I think if you do this as a duo, which Gwathorn and I have done, you still get the extra health. But if you go in with a full fellowship, you won't. It could actually be harder that way. Right. Lots of undead and Angmarim to take out. I know off by heart which of the side tunnels in this place I need to go into. It's 3 sides of a square. Each side has 2 tunnels, and the pattern is 2-2-1. You take the second on the left, on the next side, second again, and on the last face, the first one. So this is the second face, the one opposite the entrance. Just clear the way. For a moment I thought I could jump over that, but I don't think that works. You still get affected by it if you jump over it. And lots to take down at once. But they're only teal, and I've got the extra health. So really, the fights in here are just a matter of time. I can dodge those ones in the corner. Now that's it. That's the final gate ahead. I took out what guards that, and this is the first tunnel on the 3rd side. Another missing page of the level 39 books. That you get lots of them in here. Right, last lot of Angmarim High Priests. And that's the last of the altars to sabotage. Sabotaging those altars makes it so that this evil priest can raise the dead dragon but can't control it. I thought you'd probably see that dead dragon again, but I never have. He might turn up in a raid that I've never done, I suppose. But they're fighting the Nazgul, turning him into empty robes, clear out the remainder. I'm not sure whether you have to get all the way out of this instance or whether it times out eventually. But that was the quickest way. go back and see Elrond. Now, this, I think, is the last of book 5 of volume 1. Quite a lot to be only at book 5 out of 15. But this is going to start book 6. I think there's a bit of FedExing to do, but the epic is going to move on to a brief stint in Esteldin in the North Downs. But the next thing on the agenda are these dark blue side quests. I mean, more of them are blue now that I've gone up a level. I'm still heading for levels 47, but I'm heading towards the southeast, not quite to the corner yet, because there's this den full of worms, and there's 2 quests to do here. One of them's emergent, will pop up when I go far enough into this den. There it is, it's popped up. That's to get the boss in here. But I've got 2 items to collect. The corpse wasn't one of them. Here's one, Thorkel's helm, and down here is Thorkel's axe. So I had to search for a dead elf among wargs, and now a dead dwarf among worms. And here's the boss, Urinuinen. The treasure cache is indeed way higher level than me. So, reporting in at Hrimbarg. Thorgest. Now and then he stops talking to you. So I'm clearing my stuff. And now I'm going all the way to the southeast corner. As with the northeast corner, there is a high pass that I have to find, a high spot. And I'm going to more or less do that first. It's not quite in the corner. I'm just got to find the right path to it. It's not easy. I'm dodging things as far as possible. And looking on the map, I saw a little flag and figured that that was where I got to head to. But the thing about that is, generally the flags don't appear until you've already been there. Now, I have no memory of being at this spot before. I might have been passed it by sort of way down the bottom of the cliff or something like that. But I went all the way to the flag to make sure I'd done this. And now I can come back and get the Gorodam baskets, and there's a boss here. Getting the right number of Gorodan killed is easy. Now, I'm still on my way to the pass at this stage. I couldn't find the way up from that side. And kind of go right round a mountain. But brief, of course, but you could see the flag on the mountain. Oh, and I think I've got all the necessary Gorodan by now. I've got to go a bit further for the flag. Yeah, no message popped up when I got to the flag, so I must have already done it, but I didn't want to take the risk Shane to go to this far corner yet again. But I'm done now, so I'm heading back for the rest of the baskets. And Jacker, the Gorodan chief, who apparently might have medicine for the dwarf at Rimbarg. Clear all their pet wolves that they've always got, no matter what zone they're in. There's one more basket to get, I think. You've got to follow this path all around. Oh, another wolf behind me. Windmaster. That was the last of those. Yeah, I didn't have all the Gorodan because the Windmasters are the rarest. And you can see that basket there. Just got to clear the way. Right, one basket. And as soon as I see Jacker, I'm going to shoot him from where I am rather than take on everything. And yes, he and his wolf came towards me, but the others didn't get involved. So that's done. And I take the guide to Rimbarg, which is exactly where I want to go this time. Oh, and there's level 47. So I added more damage to my focus consuming. The ones that need a wind up. Words escape me. But I'm turning my experience back off again. Now, there's one little thing to do. I've already placed signs on 2 posts for the dwarf at the high crag, but there's one that goes just into the giant territory, which is fellowship territory. And what popped up just then was the high pass deed, because this was the last one. So I did manage to get to the other 2 that I mentioned, and did the others just naturally in passing. So that's done. I'm not doing anything else in the Giants area unless the Epic sends me to take out a boss there. There are a few epic bosses there. So now I'm heading, I need, for a different deed, I need to find the little dower hand. There it is, that spot there. So I'm done with him. Those are fellowship quests. Now, I used my campfire, which you might remember I set way back when I first entered the Misty Mountains. And he gave me a quest to go on and see these people near Helagrod. And like I said, I wanted to do everything except Goblin Town. And I'll break up this area by going for my LIs, my legendary items. Now, there's a whole bunch of mithril points to people you've got to talk to, and they're spread all over Eriador. Take a long time to do them without mithril. I mean, less so for a hunter. But one of them is Elrond. Him I can do without spending mithril. But one out in the middle of Rivendell. Utley is all the way back at Archet, and one is in the North Downs. that dwarf town at the north. Yeah, now I looked for my less used guides to go to Tinadir, and one of the people I've got to talk to is in Forashell at Kappa Kauta. So that required going to Ostforod, getting the stable from there. I need to have a quick look at what level these quests are so that I can do things in the early 40s in the right order. So it's talking to this fella, and yeah, I don't need to do them yet.